Hello! Welcome to our Rhythm Lego activity, level 1. I want to show you these Legos that I've built, and we're going to say that each one of these Lego sections counts as a music note. So the small ones that are just one Lego wide count as a ta, because tas, also known as quarter notes, are one beat. The two Lego dot ones count as a ta, or a half note, because they're 2 beats. And then I have this one that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be our whole note. Then we have our 1, 2, 3. That's a dotted half note. And then I have a lot of tas at the end here. So I built this little pattern, and now I'm going to say it. You can say it using the names of the notes, the ta and the ta, or ta 2, 3, 4. So you could say it like this. We could go ta, 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 ta 2, 3, 4, ta 2, 3, ta, 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 ta. Now you say it with me. Ready, set, here we go. Ta, 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 ta 2, 3, 4, ta 2, 3, ta, 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 ta. Now we could also use the animal rhythm patterns that we've talked about before in class. So this one here, this first group would be tall giraffe. This one would be the lion, roar, roar. Now we don't have one for this, so we're still just going to say the ta, 2, 3, ta, because we don't have an animal pattern that uses a dotted half note. And then when we get to these 4 tas in a row, we'll call that Charlie Chipmunk. So now you say the pattern with me using the animal names. Tall giraffe, roar 2, 3, 4, ta 2, 3, ta, Charlie Chipmunk. If you have the cards, you could arrange them in this same pattern, or you can just do it with your Legos. Now, the next step that you're going to do is you're going to write the pattern onto a piece of paper. So I wrote mine here on my whiteboard. So this is how we would write this pattern with Legos in music notes. So I have my ta, I don't know if you can see both of them, but I have my ta, ta, half note, then a whole note, dotted half note, quarter, and then 4 quarters at the end. Okay, so this pattern with Legos is the same as this pattern with music notes. When you write your own pattern with Legos, then you can write it with music notes as well. Now, if you're ready for a challenge, we can think about dividing up our music into what we call measures or bars. A measure of music has to have the same number of beats in each measure. So if you think of each of these little dots as a beat, I can divide it up into the measures. So I'm going to do 4 at a time. So here I have my first group, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is where I would have my bar line. Now I'm going to have to scooch my Legos over. So let me do a little rearranging real quickly here. And you'll see how they divide out into having a little gap in between each one. So now I still have the same pattern, I just divided it after every 4 dots or 4 beats. Now sometimes just this one Lego fits into the whole group because it's 4 beats all by itself. Here we have 4 Legos, right? You can take your pattern that you wrote on your piece of paper and you can divide it into beats as well. Measures, using the number of beats in each measure. So I'm going to write what we call the time signature at the beginning. 4 beats. You always have a 4 at the bottom for right now. So the top number is the one that you look at. Okay, so this one works out. I made it on purpose so it would work out. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I get to draw my bar line. This one, remember, the whole note is 4, so it's all by itself. 1, 2, 3, 4. The dotted half note is worth 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Draw your bar line. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't leave very much space, but you can squeeze your little bar line in there. So now I have my same rhythm, but I used bar lines to divide it into measures. 4 measures worth of rhythm. Okay, sometimes it doesn't work out that nicely though. Here's a pattern. Pretend this is the pattern that you wrote with your Legos. This one doesn't work because look, I have 1, 2, 3, but then I have this 4, 5, 6, 7. That doesn't work. If I want to have 4 in each measure, I have to figure out a way that I can have this group be 4 before I get to the whole note. So I would have to add another ta in it. Now it works out. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I can put my bar line. Boop. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. The whole note is a measure all to itself. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you write a pattern, a big long pattern using Legos, and then you try to divide it up into measures and you find that it doesn't work, see how you can add or subtract a note here or there so that it's in groups of 4. Now your measures don't always have to be groups of 4. The other most common time signatures would be a group of 3, or you might see a group of 2 as well. But let's stick with either 3s or 4s today. So you're going to find your 3 beats. I wrote this pattern out so that it would make sense. Again, if yours doesn't work, you might have to change your beats a little bit to make it into groups of 3. So here I have 1, 2, 3, draw my bar line. 1, 2, 3, there goes your bar line. The dotted half note is 3 beats, so it gets its own measure, 1, 2, 3, boop, and 1, 2, 3. Now that I have enough space, I'll show you how at the end of the example you can make a double bar line, which is a thin one and a thick one. That tells you that it's like a stop sign. It's time to stop. If you wanted to repeat your pattern, you would use their double bar line plus add those little 2 dots. That turns it into a repeat sign. Now you know to go back and do it twice. So your assignment at home, if you have Legos, find your Legos and build yourself a little pattern using 1s, 2s, 3s, or 4s. Okay, those are your options. And then once you've got your pattern that you like, clap it, say it, write it down on a piece of paper, and see if you can divide it up into even groups, either groups of 3s, like I did on this sheet here, or you can try to divide it up into groups of 4s. If it doesn't divide up evenly, you might have to rearrange a little bit in order to get it done. So there is a Rhythm Lego activity plus a little challenge dividing it up into bars or measures if you're ready for the challenge. Have fun!